1 week on from the assassination attempt, Donald Trump is holding his first rally alongside his vice presidential pick. Let's go live to Trudy McIntosh in Washington. Good afternoon to you, Trudy. What are we expecting?
Well, Janie, it's going to be back on stage for Donald Trump, a place he rather enjoys, I'd have to say, being in front of all of his supporters. He gets to riff for sometimes more than a few hours. This is going to be a big moment, though, in this campaign. Just this time last week, Donald Trump nearly killed by a would-be assassin who was on top of a rooftop nearby his Butler, Pennsylvania rally. These pictures iconic. His fight mantra now something you hear every time Donald Trump speaks. We saw that at the Republican convention all of this week. This is now an indoor event today in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Security on incredibly high alert, as you would expect. The Secret Service reportedly asking local law enforcement to send additional people. The road shut down around the area. They want to do everything they can to ensure today goes as smoothly as possible. As for Donald Trump's message, well, we heard a bit of it in a quite lengthy speech as he accepted the nomination at the Republican convention. And he used that as an opportunity to also announce his vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, the first-term Ohio senator. He's in that neighbouring state next to Michigan. He is going to be, for the first time, appearing at one of these campaign events alongside Donald Trump. So it'll be fascinating to see the chemistry between the two. Part of the reason to pick J.D. Vance, he's a convert to the MAGA message, having previously said critical things about Trump back in 2016. But they're hoping he's going to be able to win over and help Trump win some of these crucial Rust Belt states. Michigan is one of those fascinating key swing states. Donald Trump lost to Hillary, won and beat Hillary Clinton there in 2016, lost, though, to Joe Biden in 2020. So this is a crucial matchup again heading into November.
Yeah, it certainly sounds that way. Trudy, on the Democrat side, a big standoff between President Biden and his colleagues over his future in the race. What is the latest?
Well, he's still holed up at his home in Delaware. We haven't seen him publicly in a number of days. He's got COVID-19. He's continuing to get antivirals. We get a daily update from the president's physician, and he says he's continuing to be on the mend, but he's still got a hoarse voice and a cough. But Joe Biden is remaining increasingly defiant. He is ignoring, it seems at this stage, calls from his colleagues, more than 35 of them now, who want him to bow out of this race for the good of the party and for the good of the country. They believe he can't beat Donald Trump in November. This has been dismissed, though, by the Biden camp as just a push from the elites, that it's not actually what real Democrat voters actually want him to do. Well, on that, outside the White House here in Washington today, we saw this small group of everyday Democrats rally there today to send their message directly to the president.
Working to make sure that the voices of regular Democrats are heard, the supermajority of Democrats who believe that it's time for President Biden to pass the torch. We are here to say thank you so much for everything you've done for all of your public service, and to say it is time to pass the torch so that we can have our best chance of winning in November.
But it doesn't seem like Joe Biden is listening. He's promising to be back on the campaign trail here in America next week. We've seen this reporting in the Washington Post that he is getting increasingly angry and frustrated watching what he believes is an orchestrated campaign to try and force him out. He is angry, according to the Washington Post, at former President Barack Obama, the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, believing they're behind this push to see him shown the exit ahead of the November election. We also heard today from Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren. She ran against Biden in the 2020 presidential race, ultimately lost. Today, hedging in her answer on whether she thinks he should stay.
Joe Biden is our nominee. As I said before, he has a really big decision to make. But what gives me a lot of hope right now is that if President Biden decides to step back, we have Vice President Kamala Harris, who is ready to step up, to unite the party, to take on Donald Trump, and to win in November.
We saw today, too, NBC News reporting that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton both have been privately telling those around them that they don't want to see Biden drop out of this race, and are also encouraging donors not to stop giving money to President Biden. Janie?